Bible Answers with Dr. Al Garza.
All right, welcome back to Bible Answers Unfiltered. I am your host, Dr. Al Garza. So it's been a while since I've been on here and did a recording on my YouTube channel. I've been extremely busy with a lot of things going on with the Hebrew New Testament translation project. I actually moved to a new house. The other one was way too small for my family and I, which I got a bigger office space and everything else, as you can see behind me. So it's been a while since I've been on here, but I want to say again, thank you for all of our partners who've been helping with this ministry, as well as been purchasing books or donations. I really appreciate it. This helps continue to grow this channel and the work that we're doing here. Now, most of the work, as you know, is surrounded by these newly discovered Hebrew New Testament manuscripts that date from 10th, 11th century, 12th century, all the way down to the 18th and 19th century. And they pretty much, there's some manuscripts that are on, that date are unknown, that might be on a papyri, on the backdrop, in Aramaic and so forth, that date 3rd, 4th century, 3rd century. And some of these 5th, 6th century with some of the Gospels, like 1 Corinthians, or actually Thessalonians and John in Aramaic. So we are going through all these different translations, and we're looking to see, trying to reconstruct back to what we think would have been spoken by Yeshua Jesus in his mother tongue in Hebrew. Just like the Greek is a translation, and in the Greek, all the Greek manuscripts, about 94-95% are dated toward the Middle Ages. Most of these Hebrew New Testament manuscripts are on that same time frame. Most, not all. And a great number of them are from a translation from either Aramaic or a Greek text. They're retranslated back into Hebrew. They were Jewish communities, so it's fascinating to see how they preserved the New Testament in Hebrew for these Jewish communities, whether they're a translation or possibly not. We have some newly discovered. We just newly discovered some Matthew, Mark, and Luke Hebrew manuscripts that seem to not follow the Greek, Aramaic, or even Latin translations. They appear to go back to an earlier Hebrew source text and possibly back to what would have been an original Hebrew as far as the wording and all that. So we're really excited about this newly discovered manuscripts. Apparently the scribe only went to Luke 17, but in the introduction, he was working on all 4 Gospels in Hebrew. So it's really fascinating. We don't have John. We only have up to Luke 17. So we have Matthew, Mark, and Luke up to Luke 17. But keep us in prayer on this. We're really looking for more manuscripts now that with Israel going to war with Hamas and Gaza. We are kind of on hold as far as being able to go to Israel, go to the libraries, contacting, getting these manuscripts because of what's going on. So keep that in prayer as well. It's, everything's in God's hands. And I want to say something because I do get questions about prophecy regarding, the war with Israel and Hamas in regards to biblical prophecy. Now, my position is totally different than the mainstream Western Christian idea of prophecy. It's hard for me because Bible prophecy teachers come out of the woodwork during these times to start putting out videos about end times and how closer we are. And so it bothers me because, they've been doing this for centuries, it's for decades, really, in the sense that they goes back to even this last 20 years of the Iraq War, Desert Storm, when the U.S. went to war. End time Bible teachers were out in the woodwork on this, and then when that passed and nothing happened, okay, now we're looking at this Israel-Hamas war. I don't look about prophecy the same way. Prophecy to me in the Old Testament is prophetic warning from the prophets to Israel and Judah, following the Torah of how they neglected the Torah, and Moses wrote that if you disobey the Torah and you take up all these idols and violate it, you will have pestilence, plague, famine, war, all this stuff. So prophecy in the Old Testament for me is not about second coming and all these things. It predates the first coming of Yeshua Jesus, and it talks about Israel and Judah's Apostasies and abominations before the Lord, and the day of the Lord of judgment coming upon them, as prophesied as spoken and warning in the Torah of Moses. And they're repeating that all throughout the book of Isaiah, Ezekiel, all the minor prophets, Jeremiah, the minor prophets. So don't get bogged down with these prophecy teachers that like to come on and all of a sudden exploit what's going on in the world to try and boost new book sales and new fascinating YouTube videos. A lot of it comes and goes, and nobody calls them out on it, so don't fall for it. That when the Lord returns, and I wrote this in a number of my books regarding the last day, which is the resurrection, spoken by Jesus and by Paul, and even in the epistles, that the last day, the day that the Lord returns, is the day of the resurrection of the dead, both the wicked and the righteous. And those who will belong to Yeshua Messiah as his will be resurrected into eternal life, and those will be resurrected into judgment. So, and that's it. There's nothing else, and that's consistent with ancient Judaism, the understanding of the day of the resurrection, the final day, and that's it. There is nothing else added into that. And again, I wrote a book on this a number of years ago regarding this, because there's so much misunderstanding about the last day, or the last day, or the end time day of the Lord when he comes at the resurrection. But again, don't get bogged down with this. Don't get this discouraged. There are a lot of people who will take advantage of this, and it's unfortunate. But with this, we want to just say, keep Israel in prayer. A lot is going on there, and they will eradicate Hamas. They're going in there. They're going to take care of it. It's a terrorist group that they're going to remove out of Gaza. What happens after that, the Lord knows. It's in his hands. Trust in the Lord. His will be done. That's all we know. His will be done. We can't predict what will happen. And it's very dangerous to start speculating all these things. I keep hearing Antichrist and this and that. And it's all complete, utter nonsense as far as the biblical understanding the Bible and interpretation is concerned. So, but I wanted to come on here and just give you an update. We're working great on our our new Hebrew New Testament translation project. We still need your help. Keep supporting the ministry by buying the books that I have online through Amazon, through my website. My website changed now to dralgarza.info, which I have a link here. We shut down the other website link. The website host went under, so we had to move it to a different site, and we lost the name, dralgarza.org, so it's dralgarza.info. And there you can get all the information about myself. Go to Amazon, search out Dr. Al Garza. You'll see many new books that I have out. And again, I'm still continuing on with my finishing up my master's in biblical studies, as well as a second PhD, another PhD, doctoral dissertation on the search for the language during the Second Temple period, where I build the case for the Hebrew language of the Gospels, as well as Aramaic and Greek, that went from there to all the world. So that's what I'm working on. It's a lot of work that I'm doing, plus maintaining my family life. But I can't do it without your support, so I appreciate everybody who is supporting. If you can do more, I appreciate it. It helps continue. When support slows down, our project slows down as well. So the more you can do with us with purchasing books and donating and all that, then the faster we can move. And the more I can put more videos out. There's a lot out there, a lot of non-Christian groups out there, bashing the Bible, bashing the nature of God and all these things, and that's fine. They'll have their day in the end, and they'll have to face the Lord and Yeshua Jesus and give answers for what they've said and done. We still get many questions about different things, like again Calvinism and other things, but I want to say this. We only differ with Calvinism and Reformed theology in the area of soteriology. How God saves or how one becomes saved is mainly the big debate. And again, I'm going to make this clear. The Reformed Calvinistic view of soteriology is completely foreign to the Hebrew Bible, which was used at the time of Yeshua Jesus and his disciples, and was read at the Second Temple as well as in the local synagogues. That idea of determinism and the predestination is completely foreign. Many good scholars have written on this, and even unbelieving scholars who've written on determinism and all that have pointed out the history that does not follow Second Temple period Judaism or the Hebrew Scriptures. It's completely foreign, and there's no debate on that anymore. Calvinist reformers want to hold on to their soteriology thinking. That's fine. That's between you and the Lord. That's between you and God on how He saves, and how you want to try and give an answer to that point. When they're pressed in the corner, they literally make no sense half the time when they're talking about trying to defend it. It's just isn't worth the time anymore. But there's a lot of good ministries out there. Dr. Leighton Flowers has a ministry, Soteriology 101, which you can go and subscribe to his channel. He does great work on this. He brings many different people onto his YouTube channel talking about Calvinism and ex-Calvinists and all this stuff. And, you can go there and get some good information on that topic. But everything else on the Trinity and the deity of the Messiah and all these things, we've covered this in other videos. You can scroll here. I've written books on the topic. The scriptures are clear on this, not only from the earliest Greek manuscripts to all the Hebrew New Testament manuscripts we have affirm the deity of the Messiah and the going back even to the triune nature of God. So there is these manuscripts that we have that are from multiple different sources of scribes, Jewish scribes copying, translating. They all affirm what historically the Christian church has always believed in the deity of the Messiah and the second person of the triune nature of God. So, again, I've written on this. More will come as I'm finishing up my master's thesis at the end, which I'm getting prepared to write. It's a lot of work. Working on this second master's in biblical studies, I'm focusing a lot on textual criticism, biblical hermeneutics, exegesis, and more. I'm preparing, to write at the end my master's thesis, as well as moving into my another PhD. So keep all that in prayer. It's a lot of work. I'm still learning. I'm always learning, and it's great to refresh myself with this and see how far we can go. So keep us in prayer. I keep this short, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please click like and subscribe if you haven't, as well as go to the website drlgarza.info. You can also check out our new website. Well, not really new, but renamed HebrewNTS.org, which is HebrewNewTestamentStudies.org. HebrewNTS.org, which I'll leave a link here for you. Go there, check out our catalog of all of our Hebrew New Testament manuscripts. You can donate there as well. But if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them here. I try to answer all the questions that you guys have. You can email me or just leave a comment. But again, I want to thank everybody here for tuning in, and thank you for your prayers and support. And please keep all that coming. And again, I want to thank you all, and I'll talk to you soon, and God bless.
Bible Answers with Dr. Al Garza.